Will the Indianapolis Colts end up trading back in the 2023 NFL Draft? So Chris Ballard is typically the type of general manager to trade back, get as many draft picks, as much compensation as he possibly can. And if he gets a package he can't refuse, don't be surprised if you see the Indianapolis Colts trade down. So I have 4 reasons here why the Indianapolis Colts might trade down. And, there's some scenarios, what needs to present itself in the situation. So I'd like to welcome you to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where fans welcome. If you enjoy Colts NFL content, make sure you like, subscribe, put that post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. This is a place for you. You won't regret it, I promise. So, we all know Chris Ballard likes to trade back. He doesn't he likes to accumulate all these draft picks. And considering, lately he's kind of given up draft picks for some guys here and there. He did get a 5th for Stephon Gilmore, although he's going to want more draft picks. And if the guy is not there that he wants, and if he gets decent compensation, don't be surprised if Chris Ballard trades down. So here are 4 reasons. You have, you're going to need a reason, which I will get more in depth into it. They're going to need a team that is willing to trade up, the compensation, and they're going to need a prospect, wherever they move down to, that is worth trading down for, but you're still not going to screw yourself over. So, a reason. The guy they want is gone. Whether they want Will Levis, whether they want Anthony Richardson, or something crazy happens at the top. Like you have a Bryce Young go. Or, like you have a Anthony Richardson go 1, or Will Levis go 1. And then you have one of the 2 of Stroud or Young go to Houston. Then you have Stroud or Young at 3. Then it becomes a battle at number 3 for other teams that are going to move up, because if Stroud or Young are there at 3, wouldn't surprise me if there's a bit of a battle to trade up. But let's just say it goes Stroud to Carolina, Bryce to the Texans, and then you have number 3 at you have Cardinals at 3. Will another team trade up to number 3? And take that spot. That where the second part of the reason comes through. If a team moves up to 3, the Colts are going to be forced to pick the 4th quarterback in this draft. And if they're not high on him, if Chris Ballard isn't high on him, if he's not willing to take the chance, he's not going to. And if Chris Ballard is high on Levis or Richardson, if one of them do not make it to 4. Don't be surprised if he moves back, especially if a team is offering compensation. Now, if 3 picks go 3 quarterbacks, maybe he stays and drafts a guy like Will Anderson. It would not hurt drafting an edge rusher to have on the other side of Kwity Paye while you have Buckner in the inside. It wouldn't surprise me to see an edge rusher and Will Anderson go to Chris at 3 or 4. It's possible. Chris Ballard likes to build in the trenches as well. We did sign Samson Ebukam. We didn't re-sign Yannick Ngakoue. I think Samson Ebukam is more of a rotational guy. So maybe Chris Ballard waits to get a rotational guy because he loves his rotational pieces. And that's really what he likes to build the defensive line out of. So, 2. If a team is willing to trade up with them. Now, you may need to ask what teams would be willing to maybe trade up with the Colts. You might have the Falcons. You might have the Panthers, the Raiders, possibly the Lions. So you have the Seahawks behind us. Say the Colts don't. Say Richardson is there, right? Say the Colts don't like Richardson, just out of theoretical. If maybe a team wants to try and jump the Seahawks. I could see the Falcons trying to do it. I could see, not really the Lions as much. I think the Lions will stay put. I think they're more unlikely than other teams. But I think the Falcons, I don't know why I put the Panthers here. Doesn't make any sense. The Falcons and the Raiders are 2 teams I have here. I don't know why I have the Raiders in this spot, but, or the Panthers. I have, the Falcons, Raiders, maybe the Titans later on. So, maybe the Lions want to move up and get an edge rusher. Say at 3, the Cardinals stay put. Say they draft Will Anderson. They may not want to wait till 6 to get Tyree Wilson or Jalen Carter. They may want to trade up with the Colts. And then, but if the Colts trade back to 6, and then the Seahawks do take Anthony Richardson, say they don't take whoever the Lions don't take, say they take Anthony Richardson, you may have Will Levis there. And the Colts do love Will Levis, so maybe it works out perfectly. There's a lot to go through. There's a lot for the mind to process in this situation. There's so many different situations, it's not even funny. Maybe the Raiders want to trade up for a guy like Anthony Richardson and let him develop by Jimmy G. Maybe the Falcons, a guy like Anthony Richardson would fit phenomenally in that spot. So, do you guys think there's a team that would be willing to trade up? Do you think those Colts would screw themselves in the process too much? What do you guys think about that? I did have a reason number 3, but I kind of already touched on it with the prospect being willing to trade back for. The Colts really need a quarterback, so if they don't take a quarterback or one of the top defensive linemen, maybe they go for a cornerback if they trade back if they don't get. But, a cornerback isn't really, the main focus. I think Chris Ballard is going to be, I'm not even sure. It's such a weird draft in terms of, 1 and 2 are probably going to be the best prospects that go off the board. And 3 and 4, Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, those guys are high upside, but they're high risk. Where do you go? If you trade back to Atlanta, with the Falcons, is Devon Witherspoon there? Is there a defensive lineman still there that you like? Same thing with the Raiders. Does a quarterback make it there? You don't know. You don't want to screw yourself in the process. So, number 4, the comp package. How much a team is going to be willing to trade up to number 4? How much, will Chris Ballard accept? Chris Ballard's going to want a decent package. He's going to want some extra picks. He's going to want probably, if it's from Atlanta, maybe, maybe he wants a first thrown in there. Especially if Atlanta's going up there for their guy and Anthony Richardson. They're moving from 9 to 4. Chris Ballard may be able to squeak in 1 out of them. They probably could. And then maybe a second this year, maybe a 4th or 5th next year. There's so many different ways you could go with that. Maybe they include DeAndre Hopkins is what Arizona, JDW. Relax. I don't know where I got that from, but then, you have the Raiders. It's not going to be too much. I mean, it's not that many spots, but it has to be the right comp. No, Atlanta's at 8. Raiders are at 7. Maybe they trade back with one of them, but the comp has to be right. The comp has to be right. Moving from 8 to 4, that's still a decent jump in terms of and pick value. Even 7 to 4, that's I don't think you get a first out of that. There's so many different ways you could go about this, and if you move back, you have to think, is the guy you want gonna be there? Or if the guy that you want is already gone, maybe you go with a guy like Devon Witherspoon that falls to that spot. Do you guys think the Colts would trade down? Do you think they should? Do you think Chris Ballard is going to? I want your guys' thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. I want some good football debate down there, but keep it respectful. We keep it respectful around here, and even though if I don't disagree with you, man, it's your opinion. It's 100% your opinion, and I appreciate you giving me your opinion. Sometimes it opens up, a conversation. Sometimes it's something I didn't think about. It's nice having more than one input on a topic. So, you guys let me know what you think. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where we fans welcome. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe to the post notification bell on. Do not miss any future videos. This is the JDW Sports Talk Show signing off.